Yo, what's up guys, Goblin here, welcome to this new episode. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys the best mirror deck in Clash Royale right now. This morning, I was on my way to Amsterdam, I was sitting in a train watching the global leaderboard to see if there's any interesting deck. And then the number one global player, EGW, was actually number one in the world with this quick cycle version, with the evil skeletons, with the evil bats, quick cycle, elixir collector, mirror goblin giant. So I asked him if he could share some replays, how he got to number one in the world. And he also told me that he's gonna share some replays in the global tournament, since he was playing the global tournament for quite a while. And he was also doing very well in there. So first I'm gonna show you guys the matches from the Path of Legends. And afterwards we're gonna finish today's video showing the matches from the global tournament, as I said. So let's hop into the first match, guys. In this case, he's of course the player on the bottom. He's always gonna be playing the same version, which I just showed you guys, with the elixir collector, with the mirror, quick cycle, and the goblin giant. So in most of the situations, I would say that he either uses the mirror on top of the elixir collector, or with the goblin giant, which by the way, of course, adds another level to the troop. If he, for example, mirrors the elixir collector, it's gonna be a level 16 elixir collector, or if he mirrors the goblin giant, it's gonna be a level 16 goblin giant, just in case you guys didn't know. So most of the times I see him trying to get a lot of advantage in single elixir. Of course, having a quick cycle, you can most of the times outcycle your opponent's spells. In this case, the opponent has poison, or in some situations you can just after using a poison, go with another elixir collector because you have a mirror in the deck. So in this case, he goes with elixir collector. In the meantime, the opponent tries to kind of pressure, but EGW in this case does a good job at defending. He goes with bomber plus a little prince to distract the ice spirit, and in this case perfectly defends the mortar. In the meantime, he still has the elixir collector on the field, which of course is gonna give him a lot of elixir advantage. So I believe in this situation he's already gonna go with a goblin giant. In this case, he uses it first on defense, and then afterwards, I believe, as you guys can see, he selects the goblin giant as a mirror. So I'm not sure if he's gonna pressure both lanes here. He might pressure both lanes with, for example, bet split, or what is he gonna do? Okay, looks like he goes with goblin giant in the same lane with the evil bats as well. Opponent is preparing the poison, but the goblin giant has so much HP. Evil bats also will quickly take care of the little prince, and as you guys can see, that's already gonna be tower down, I think, on the right side. I don't think he has anything to defend this, to be honest. Yeah, level 16 goblin giant also does so much damage, by the way. Of course, it has a lot of HP, but once it locks onto the tower with the spear gobs, also deals a ton of damage. And I think this guy's already gonna give up. As you guys can see, he's not dropping anything, so it's gonna be a W to start off today's video. And I think this was already, like, I don't know, maybe like top 5, top 10 gameplay. Didn't really focus on the trophies or on the medals he had when the replay started, but I believe it was already being very high in the global leaderboard. So let's see where he's at right now. Yeah, he's at 2,385. He was playing against people a little bit lower. Why? Because he was just queuing while being really high, of course, trying to get to number one, which he ended up getting by quite a bit. So let's hop into the second match, guys. In this case, he's up against a Splash Art player. Very interesting version with the evil bomber. I personally don't really recommend playing bomber with Splash Art, because of course you can activate the king tower easily. But I saw this guy Fire King doing pretty well with this version with the bomber. So it's gonna be interesting, because in this case, EGW, by the way, if you guys didn't notice, he is running the Cannoneer, and Cannoneer is kind of bad against the graveyard. So let's see what he does in this type of matchup. Okay, so he goes with elixir collector. In the meantime, he tries to defend as good as possible with a little prince. Skelly's here to distract. And in this graveyard, I don't know about this graveyard, to be honest, because I was about to say that he has a lot of elixir. He has the goblin giant available. He has the bats available. And I think the bomber was kind of like a prediction for a potential nado, since the cannoneer is kind of bad against graveyard. I guess sometimes you need to maybe over defend a little bit, but I guess this situation is perfect for him. I mean, he got the elixir collector for free. He didn't take a single hit, by the way. Perfect defense against that graveyard, and then he gets another elixir collector on the field, and I think here he might mirror it, to be honest. He has the mirror elixir collector selected, so I wouldn't be surprised to see another. Okay, looks like he doesn't. Instead, he goes with his little prince into the right side lane. He does give him quite a bit of poison value, but at the same time, he's gonna have so much elixir, so I guess, I don't know if it was a bait, like to kind of bait the poison. He did give him a little bit of value, but at the same time, as I said, he's gonna have so much elixir advantage right now that he's just gonna make an insane push on both lanes. In this case, level 16 goblin giant on the right side, level 15 goblin giant with the little prince on the left side, bomber on the right side, and then he also has the evil skellies, which of course even apply more pressure, because as soon as one of the skeletons connects to the tower, everyone knows how good they are. So in this case, he's just applying so much pressure. Left side tower will go down with the ability, with the goblin giant, with the little prince. He even goes with evil bats, and as you guys can see, like, he's just destroying people on top leaderboard. I feel like this is the way he got number one in the world. Just 3 crowning everyone which was actually crazy. Whenever I saw him being number 1 in the world with this deck, I was like, how did you do that? Especially since Mirror isn't really a card which is played often. And in the last part of Legends match, I believe this was the match for number 1, by the way. As you guys can see, EGW had 2,403 trophies, and then Red, I believe, had like 2,260 if I didn't see it wrong. Playing the exact same deck. So this is actually a mirror match, guys. I guess Red copied EGW's deck, and then he actually has a better cycle because, as you guys can see, EGW in this case at the bottom doesn't have the Elixir Collector in cycle yet, while Red already cycled 1 Elixir Collector. So I would say this is actually a very bad start for him. I definitely I think whoever has the Elixir Collector faster has a big advantage, to be honest. So let's see how this match turns out. I'm actually interested to see how you play this mirror. I feel like it's a crazy mirror because you have so many spam cards, and the Elixir Collector in this type of matchups are also very strong because yeah, you don't really have anything to deal with it. So Red already decides to pressure both lanes. In this case, he goes with Goblin Giant plus Bats on the right side. Ooh, that was such a nice play with the Skellies. As you guys can see, he goes Skellies in the middle to kite all of the skeletons towards the other tower. And in this case, he tries to defend as good as possible, but he basically ended up losing his tower, to be honest. Let's see what happens here, though. I'm assuming he's gonna go, yeah, okay, he goes with another Elixir Collector, so well played by him. And I wouldn't be surprised if he even goes with another Elixir Collector here, knowing that in this case, Red doesn't have yeah, anything to deal with it. Only thing he has is arrows to kind of damage it, but I don't really think it's a good play, to be honest. I mean, 3 Elixir on top of Elixir Collector, I don't think it's a good play at all. Okay, so another Elixir Collector from EGW. In this case, he's gonna be up quite a bit of Elixir. He did end up taking a lot of damage, but now with this Elixir advantage, I think he might be able to pressure. So let's see if he does. Okay, yeah, looks like he does. Right away, goes with the Goblin Giant. He also goes with the Evo Bats at the bridge, and I think he knows that the opponent in this case yeah, still had to cycle towards the arrows, and then the Goblin Giant in the meantime also gets a ton of damage. So he's not gonna equal up the damage, but I guess yeah, he is gonna, of course, kind of equal up the damage, and at the same time maybe continue using the Elixir Collector. Let's see what he does here. Okay, looks like he prepares the defense. Looks like he goes with ability. I think he's gonna arrows on defense. There you go, arrows on defense against everything. And then Evo Skellies on defense, plus a Goblin Giant. Okay, so instead of going Elixir Collector, he is now mainly focused on offense. In this case, the Goblin Giant, I think, should be able to get quite a bit of damage. And here he goes with another Goblin Giant, plus Bats on the left side. And I'm actually a fan of this push because he doesn't have arrows in cycle. And of course, the Goblin Giant level 16 is insanely strong. Arrows here to clean up those Evo Bats. And then the Goblin Giant plus Bats, plus the Little Prince, will be able to also get a lot of damage on the left side. He even goes with ability to force out maybe more Elixir, or he's just... Okay, looks like the opponent is just gonna ignore that. Wait, this is kind of a crazy situation. Both towers are at 600 HP. In this case, EGW will be able to defend that very nicely with the skeletons plus the bats, but Red in this case also defends the Goblin Giant perfectly, so they're basically equal up with damage, and I feel like whoever plays the Goblin Giant here first will end up winning, but is it gonna be the case? Okay, Red doesn't end up going with the Goblin Giant. Instead, he goes with arrows. Little Prince is 1 HP, and I think here it's gonna be over because he doesn't have the arrows in cycle, and he goes with the Evil Bats. He just now has the arrows in cycle, but he doesn't have any Elixir. Arrows offensively from EGW, and with this match, I believe he got number 1 in the world. Very nice mirror there, and even though I feel like he had a really bad start because, as I said before, Red in this case had the Elixir Collector before him, and then he still ended up winning yeah, the mirror match. So to end today's video, guys, we're gonna watch the last 2 matches in the global tournament. He told me that he didn't have any more replays from the Path of Legends since he was already playing the global tournament whenever he hit yeah, number 1 in the world. And then of course he also did pretty well there. So that's why I also want to show you guys some replays with tournament standard. So hoping into the first match is gonna be a match up against Minor Poison, which I don't think is gonna be that easy. In this case, he goes with his Elixir Collector. Unfortunately for him, oh, he goes with, okay, interesting. He goes with Knight plus Little Prince here to keep up the pressure. Pretty nice push, to be honest. And then he goes with a Miner to the Elixir Collector. Little Prince plus Knight is gonna get quite a bit of damage. So I guess that was a nice play by the opponent. Good amount of pressure and good amount of damage dealt to the right side tower. Okay, he instantly goes with another Elixir Collector. In this case, he does go with a Poison. And I'm wondering to see if he's gonna go with another Elixir Collector here, or if he decides to maybe pressure knowing that the Poison is out of cycle with, I don't know, let's say like Bats, or I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Okay, looks like he is gonna, yeah, I was about to say, looks like he is gonna select the Elixir Collector. So he mirrors the Elixir Collector. Of course, in this case, it's gonna be level 12 since it's gonna be tournament standard. And then he's gonna have quite a lot of Elixir advantage here. I feel like right now he's gonna be equal on Elixir. And then at the same time, he still has a full HP, level 12 Elixir Collector on the field. So he starts his push from the back. I feel like all the time I've seen him go, like EGW go with the Goblin Giants in the back. I don't think he ever really goes with them at the bridge. unless he has like a really good counter push or he knows that the opponent is really low. But in general, I definitely think that you always try to build up your pushes going from the back. Okay, he goes with bets on the right side, he goes with ability in the middle here to distract the Tesla. But the opponent, to be honest, did a really good job at defending. He even has the Evil Skellies if needed, but I don't think he's even gonna use it in this case. Okay, let's see what he does here. He has up quite a bit of elixir still. Okay, he goes with Goblin Giant again in the back, as I said before. I think he basically always goes with Goblin Giant in the back. I never really saw him go with it at the bridge. Maybe in some situations when you use, of course, like a mirror or something. But in general, you definitely don't really want to. Okay, so instead of supporting this Goblin Giant, he just lets it be. Goes with Elixir Collector and instantly goes with another Elixir Collector while also protecting the first one. Okay, that's an interesting detail. I think a lot of people maybe would have ignored the first Elixir Collector and just let it be, but in this case he also tried to protect it while already using the second one. Okay, so Goblin Giant here in the back, another Goblin Giant maybe, yeah, I was about to say another Goblin Giant maybe from the back. So basically most of the times he's either using the mirror with the Goblin Giant or the mirror on the Elixir Collector. I don't think I've ever seen him mirror, for example, I don't know, let's say bats. It would be interesting to see him use mirror arrows. I feel like mirror arrows in some situations are extremely strong because they can end up killing, for example, well, it's not really meta, but let's say like Musketeer. I believe double arrows kill Little Prince, but I don't think it's really worth it because it's a 3 elixir card. But look at the amount of pressure he applies. Oh, that was bad Evo Skellies. I don't think he meant to go with Evo Skellies, or I guess he wasn't really expecting the lock there. But at the same time, it's going to be a lot of damage. Look at the Goblin Giant on the right side. Evo Bats, no, not Evo Bats, but the bats are going to connect. Evo Skellies on defense and the Bomber here to clean up most of the Skellies, while also dealing a little bit of damage to the Little Prince. So, interesting situation. I don't think it's going to be that easy to win from this spot, because I mean he is up a little bit of elixir, but this minor plus poison is getting an insane amount of damage, to be honest. Is he just gonna go with another elixir collector? Okay, so even though he's pretty far into the game, guys, very important detail here, he's still using the elixir collector while he's like almost hitting triple elixir. Like as you guys can see, over time 1 minute and 15 seconds, and he still decided to go with elixir collector there, which in my opinion is a pretty nice detail, because I feel like a lot of people also, well, for example, using, let's say, like Golem elixir collector, a lot of people stop using the elixir collector whenever they hit like double or even triple elixir. I guess in triple you don't really use elixir collector that much, but especially in double elixir I feel like it's still very important to use it in some situations. Okay, so again, double Goblin Giant both lanes. In this case, Goblin Giant on the right side supported with the Bomber. Left side Goblin Giant, he goes with the Evil Skellies. Okay, nice Evil Skellies. Another Goblin Giant. Is he gonna go with another Goblin Giant? Imagine triple. Okay, he goes triple Goblin Giant in the left side tower. On the meantime, he goes with Little Prince plus Skellies here on the right side to defend. I think that's a good defense, to be honest. I don't think he even needs the ability. He goes with another Goblin Giant, and look at that, guys. Like, whenever he hit triple elixir, I don't know how many Goblin Giant he cycled, but I feel like he cycled like 5 elixir, or not 5 elixir, 5 Goblin Giants. And look at all the elixir on the field. He has Little Prince, he has Bomber, he has Bats on the right side, Evil Bats on the left side, and there was just, yeah, way too much troops, way too much spam in triple elixir for the opponent to deal with it. I feel like, yeah, like single and double elixir was pretty nice for the opponent, but then whenever triple elixir hit, it was like nightmare for the opponent. Like so many Goblin Giants in both lanes, so many spam cards. And then the last match for today's video is against it's against Agony King, which is one of the best Sparky players in the world. So EGW, of course, at the bottom, and then Agony King on top. Let's see this matchup. Okay, he decides to start with Psycho Bomber. He goes with Bats as well. In this case, he's gonna go with Elixir Collector, and I don't think Agony has something good, to be honest. Yeah, looks like he's forced to go with his Goblin Giant. He also goes with his mini pack at the bridge. In this case, he might go with a Rage, but I think EGW can defend this, to be honest. Yeah, he goes with a ability plus a Bomber, and I think the mini P.E.K.K.A even gets distracted. So very nice placement by EGW, and just like that, he's already up quite a bit of elixir. In this case, Agony King, if I'm not wrong, yeah, he only has Rage and Zap. I don't think he has a Fireball or anything, so the Elixir Collector should be very strong and very annoying for him. Okay, let's see what he does. Okay, in this case, he goes with Goblin Giant plus Bats at the bridge. I don't know about that play, to be honest, because he does have the Electro Wizard. I guess he didn't know, because he didn't show it yet. And I think he made that play knowing that he didn't have Zap and Rage and Cycle. So I think the Bats in this case won't really get much value, but the Elixir Collectors are going to be very key. So in this case, he even decides to ignore the Knight, and he just straight away goes with Elixir Collector. I wouldn't be surprised if he even goes with a mirror, knowing that he doesn't have anything against it. Elixir Collector is just gonna be so strong. So as you guys can see, mirror Elixir Collector. And that's the crazy thing about this deck. I feel like many times the Elixir Collector is just so key in so many matchups to be able to get a lot of value, a lot of Elixir advantage, and afterwards just make insane pushes with the Goblin Giant, and then of course with the mirror as well. Most of the times either use the mirror, as I said before, with the Elixir Collector, and if it's not with the Elixir Collector, I think he always uses it with his Goblin Giant. Okay, let's see what happens here though. Is Agony King? Okay, he is gonna push. He is gonna go with, as you guys can see, Goblin Giant on the right side. So he goes with bets here on defense. He also goes, oh, what a nice Rage Predict. That was a very, very nice Rage Predict. As you guys can see, we'll be able to take down the right side tower. But at the same time, Evo Bets getting a lot of value. And look at the Elixir, by the way. I don't think many people notice, but look at the Elixir advantage EGW. Ui, I'm sorry for the capture card. Look at the Elixir advantage EGW had. In this case, he goes with the Goblin Giant on the right side. Level 12 Goblin Giant. Little Prince as well, Bomber, and Agony King in this case doesn't have any Elixir. So of course, it is gonna get a lot of damage. Even gonna take down a tower, and at this point, it's just over. Still has a lot of troops on the field. He can go with another Goblin Giant in the middle, and he could even go with another one if he wants to. Instead, he goes with his arrows to kill the archers. And I think this might even be a 3-crown. Let's see what happens. Even if he doesn't 3-crown, he's just, applying pressure. So Agony King in this case can go offensively. And in this case, it is going to be a 3-crown. So that's going to be it for today's video. Very nice matches. Big shout out to EGW for getting top 1 with this mirror deck. And also for sharing the replays. Very much appreciated. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to smack the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys like this type of format video. And if you guys have any specific deck or player what you would like to see in the future. So that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, as I said, please make sure to smack the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, feel free to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in one of my next videos. Take care, guys.